Okay, happy Halloween, everyone. I hope everybody had a happy Halloween. I missed my bus last weekend, so that was fun on Halloween Day. Over the weekend, I also cleaned up some of the case studies. I didn't change any content, obviously, but I reorganized the order and kind of unified the font and standardized the formatting, and we could go over that if we want. Um, there are some priorities, like Avi and I, we need to reach out to all of our investors, especially the CPG focused one through Vinta. We can coordinate on that. And we also need to create new engineering tickets for Samir and Amrit. And so we'll probably work on that today as well. Now, Samir, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure, happy to. So on Friday, I kicked off my calling. I ended up making 70 dials, and I only ended up connecting with two people and having one conversation. And what I learned from that is that the connection rate was pretty low, and Apollo alone to source mobile numbers isn't quite good enough. So I'm adding two new tools into the mix and Contact Out and Lucia using their free trials for now, seeing how that works out to really help verify and improve the quality of the mobile numbers. And that's going to be really important, especially with the improved spam filters now, because the worst case scenario is your number gets logged as a spam likely or a deceptive call, which is happening more and more frequently with folks who are using a lot of cold calling methods, parallel dialing, tools like that in order to reach out to more people than you could otherwise do within an 8 hour shift. I have to be I need to stay on my toes to make sure that I avoid all of those filters. And another thing that I learned is that call screening using AI is also something that I'm going to have to get past. It essentially asks you who you are and what the purpose of the call is, and sends a little quick transcript over to the person who's receiving the cold call so that they can know whether or not ahead of time to accept it. So those are really two things that I really have to keep in mind as I kind of lick my wounds and uh, give this a second go around later today.
do you, I love the effort. Do, it's interesting this issue of like I don't know what you call them, phone screeners, is a huge problem for market research now. Like people are finding response rates to like government surveys are going down from like 90%, 95% to 60%, partially because of these screeners. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Um, yeah, this one here, specifically talking about this. Can you guys see my screen? Um, yeah, the rise of caller ID and the AI screeners. Yeah, so it's gone from above 90% to below 70%, and so like
Oh, that's real.
government data is kind of falling off a cliff now because of the same thing. What, Samir? What do you think we can do to help you with your blocker?
I think one thing I need to do is start implementing a multi-touch approach where I'm not just using cold calling, but I'm also leveraging email and LinkedIn and really hitting them from all points. Because, like you said, for a lot of people, or at least for a decent chunk of them, uh, cold calling is going to be a non-starter. They already have their walls pretty built up in that respect. But even with that, right, I don't want to discount them entirely as someone worth reaching out to. So for now, I think it's really just uh, creating those first initial messages, seeing how people resonate with them, and then having the team available to help me iterate and make changes on the fly, and hopefully be able to look at some of the content that I'm creating and give me feedback along the way.
I
So
love that.
nothing specific for now, but I'll be sure to reach out once I do need that help.
All right, look, I love the new behavior. I love the experimentation. Um, if you want to do like a pairs cold calling session, if you want me to do cold calling like next to you, you know, we have I don't know what we have. We have like something like 600 enterprise inbounds in our HubSpot that I would love to like work through with you. So, staff me up if you need it. When you're
Definitely.
cold when you're calling folks, are you calling our existing contacts or this is like brand new contacts?
Right now, it's brand new contacts. I don't want to burn through the existing lead base until I kind of have something that I'm satisfied with. But eventually, once I do want to go back and reach out to the juiciest leads of all, which are the people who had proactively reached out to us in the past.
Nice. All right,
For
good.
now, it's completely new.
I mean, now that we have the new version of the app, we're gonna be spamming them as well, so we can coordinate there. Nice job, Samir.
Thanks.
Great, thank you, Samir. Michelle, do you want to go next?
Could you give me just a minute? Maybe let me go after the next person.
Yes, absolutely. Subodh, do you want to go next?
Sure. I forgot actually what I did last week. Should have done something.
Oh, you were sick.
Did you get a tuxedo?
Maybe that's the side effect. I mean, I do remember last 1.5 weeks, it was basically about getting concept test and all that thing fixed in the back end. And then Deepika did her part on the front end. Probably Nihar can give us more insight into if the whole thing is working. And yeah, one thing me and Tatavik figured there was a small bug in the equation because of some things we changed in terms of how attributes were shown in the experiment. And because of that, I think Avi has a couple of weird aims he grabs, he was saying. And then now that whole thing is fixed, uh, we should be back to the old days. And I also did ask Mali to actually just create a separate endpoint just to run the analytics on any existing one. But I think he's also sick from last 3-4 days, so he hasn't been able to work as well. But I'll take a look on that endpoint tomorrow, and then yeah. So that's pretty much on my side. Yeah, that's pretty much on my side at
Subodh,
the moment.
I am
Hmm?
so impressed with the sensitivity of the experiments at this point. Like,
Hmm.
it's so sensitive that we're picking up like all kinds of cool biases for poorly designed experiments. Like, there was some like private equity guy last week.
Hmm.
He owned some ice cream shop, and we did an ice cream experiment.
Hmm.
And the brand of the ice cream was in the dependent variable, and so then when we ran the study, all of those brands showed up, hugely positive, and so it's we obviously shouldn't be putting brands in the dependent
Hmm.
variable, but the fact that signal made it through to the AMCEs shows that end to end the sensitivity of the system is really dialed in. Like, we're picking up all kinds of strange little things, and when we do, a lot of the times it's nice. It's like we can trace it back to like some sort of poor feature in the experiment, um, and so I wonder if we like start recognizing these errors and memorializing them somehow, if we can use them in some sort of future like self-driving system.
So there is a straightforward way. I have already implemented that for the trait analysis. So I do have a check now in the experiments where, so let's say when you select any US data, non-US data, it comes with some traits like age, gender, blah, 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 right? And then somebody, let's say intentionally or unintentionally, still types, I don't know, let's say gender, other could be sex, right? Like the synonym of it. Or whether one variable you already have, let's say, is like number of children. The other could be household with children. Now, these are very semantically similar, right? So you should not be like using them two times. So basically, I've also added a semantic check through LLMs. Like if you think that two are very similar given the context and semantically, then drop one so that we don't end up with collinearity. So now we can do the same thing with the attributes. Like once we have everything,
Genius.
we like, okay, does these two look semantically similar? If it is, then yeah, drop it. So we can just have one more layer that's straightforward I can add. And I saw that experiment. Uh, so that also means that we need to add few things into the prompt itself, which picks up the features, right? So it's nice that again you ran this experiment we encountered, because up until now we like, okay, car or any product and the brand name branded model is very different. Now here, if you already have like some Jane's ice cream with dark chocolate, then again dark chocolate plus blah 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 as type of flavor doesn't even make sense. So now we can put those things as a more stricter version inside the prompt. But we'll also add one more layer of check in terms of semantics.
I love it. I love it. It's like the adversarial training. It's like the real agentic loop. Like, we build the judge, and then we build the
Mhm.
s- the s- the assessor, and then we build the score. It feels very nice. Feels very nice. All right, nice job, Subodh. Um, do we think once we get those checks in, and
Mm.
do we think we'll be ready to rerun the human baselines and the playbooks?
Uh, Human baseline is fine. There is no redundancy in terms of attribute names or anything in that. Uh, and now that we have latent variables, maybe we may be able to see some changes into overall performance of the human baseline, but that's the only thing I can think of. Uh, in terms of playbook, maybe because Nihar is here. Remember, Nihar, you were showing me one experiment few days ago where you had like only two attributes, either product and price, if I remember correctly. And then there
Yes,
it
yes.
yeah, and the latent class basically tells us that there are two classes. And when we look at the feature importance into those two classes, in one class, product was 100%, price was zero, and in the other, they both were zeros, which doesn't make any sense. My guess is it was probably happening because of this small issue in the analytics. We basically had a collinearity problem, and if you have a collinearity problem, what it will mess up, nobody can predict. It can mess up anything in the estimation, not just its own betas, but the betas of any other things. So that could be a reason why we had that such weird result. So hopefully today or early tomorrow, once I get the endpoint ready to rerun the analytics, we could probably just run on them and just make sure that everything's in order. So yeah, that's pretty much it on my side at the moment.
Right, thank you so much, Subodh. Nihar, would you like to go next?
Yeah, happy Monday, guys. So, what has been done since last Friday? If I remember correctly, concept testing kind of fixes were completed. We updated the price on the UI side for dev, which is 29.95 for now per month. Um, what else did we do? I'm still working with Pragna on the backend streaming for the personas data. It seems to be some kind of a problem for formatting the data because I'm debugging and I'm getting the personas as zero. So somewhere or the other, the API is not able to fetch the right data from the CSV, or we need to fetch it from the Redis. So I'm just debugging that solution as of now. And yeah, that's my update.
Right, thank you, Nihar.
Can we check
And
Nihar? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Subodh.
I was saying, Nihar, it's just the persona underscore NL column that needs to be read. Pragna showed me that piece of code. Uh,
Mhm.
like reading the whole CSV and then passing them as a dictionary, is just way too much data. It will never go through.
No,
Uh,
but in the persona NL internally, there's like another data that is like demographics. Like I'm looking at
so
one example that you shared. So
yeah, so
give me.
each row is a dictionary. So you may have to basic if you okay, it's pandas issue. I can fix that. I can fix that. You have to iterate. It's like for row in, let's say, the whole thing. And then again, you
Mhm.
have to take that element and read the first index, and then you get everything, and then you have to just stringify everything, and then it will look as a normal dictionary. It's some
Like, that's
weird
what I'm
thing
doing
that
right now.
happens, yeah, with pandas.
So what I did is like what I did is I'm taking the persona NL, then I am
Mm,
parsing the
mm,
JSON to extract the
mm,
demographics. And like in that particular persona NL, I found that there are
mm.
what was it?
Six
Give me
keys.
a second. Keys,
Six
which is
keys.
demographics, personalities, traits, pain points, behavior, goals, motivations, and
Motivation. Yeah. So you
so
need to pass all six to Pragna in the front. So the
okay. And
all six
mhm,
key together in provides the complete persona description. So the whole thing
mhm,
needs to be passed.
mhm. Okay. Okay, yeah. Done.
Can we also
Me
check?
and Pragna are gonna, sorry. Me and Pragna are gonna sit after the call if you have time, so both like for five
Sure.
minutes or
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Can we also check? I'm not sure if this is you and Pragna, but we have about a million. Um, we have information on a million people, like the million most popular people, both on LinkedIn and X. It's like every investor, every LP, every VC, every like public board member. Um, um, it's not traits. It's just like scraped LinkedIn. It's like 30 gigabytes of like pretty much anything you'd want to use. We could use it as a cache if we want when we do the LinkedIn work. But if we could find a way to like incorporate that with our LinkedIn search, that might bring higher resolution personas, and that like dominates what like artificial societies or any of those other guys have. I can send you the
So
file. Oh, go
so
ahead,
it's
sorry.
already so it's already a scraped LinkedIn profile
Yeah, and X, and then it's
and
like
X.
60, and then it's like 60,000 companies.
Uh, I think you shared some link with me. Let me take a look at on this data tomorrow. I'll
Okay.
take a look.
Okay. Sweet. Sweet. Sweet.
All right, thank you. Tadvik, do you want to go next?
Hi everyone, happy Monday. So right now I'm in the latent class tab. I'm trying to replace the feature importance graph with the radar graph, the same one we have in the mindsets. So they'll be like identical. I'll finish it in a half an hour and push it to dev. Other than that, there is one small tiny thing I noticed. In the first tab, the attribute importance and the latent, in the graphs, the order is not correct. The estimations, everything is correct, but the order of the attributes is not correct. So I'm just trying to see in the calculations where like the order got messed up, so I can fix that as well. That's all for
Are
me.
you are you finding the latent variable classes
Mhm.
informative? Are you finding them high quality?
Mm. Compared to mindsets, yes, especially there is more distinction in the preferences compared to mindsets. One thing I'm a little worried about is I haven't seen classes like three classes, and I have done the code, but mm, there's like some calculations I haven't checked, so I'm a little worried
It,
about that.
it's not your core Tattvik. So if it does, don't get three classes, that's fine. There's much more groundwork that we need to do on our side to get to three classes, right? So
Mhm.
all we did is added now a little bit of in a way we expanded the behavior description, right? Now, and we are asking people to basically respond to those questions still as a function of kind of static demographic traits, age, gender, everything, blah blah blah. If you remember last Wednesday or something, I was saying this, right? So given whatever is the context, we need to fetch like some 20, 30 pieces of information, positive, negative, neutral, regarding that thing. And at random show 3 to 4 positive, negative, and neutral and expose to people. And then say, now that you know these things, right? And then whatever you know, then respond. Now that will lead to much more variation in the response that LLM is doing. And once we have more uh, variation there, that will lead to more variation in the final options that they are choosing, and hence more classes. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some tests this week, and then we'll see how that improves stuff.
Okay, great.
That's really smart. This is like the holy grail, Tyler. This is the say do gap finally exposed. Very cool. Very very cool.
Great, thank
And
you,
Because,
Tadpik.
because then what will happen that even though we start with like existing information of an individual, right? Age, gender, blah, 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 and then create like this mass, big description of the individual in terms of motivation and everything. Now, if we tie that to the information that we're showing, right? Now, to a third person who's seeing from the outside, they will have no way of differentiating that this is like a one generated based on static and then adding some information versus somebody real, because the information will change and hence the belief and the perception of the individual, and then that will really make like these guys are like real guys without name.
now, suppose so we have some of these like
Mm.
marketing engagements, right? Like,
Mm.
is it? This is probably not for stand up. This is probably for our next design session, which I think is next Monday. But if we if we serve like just the concept testing and then we serve the true like experiments with the latent variables, right? Now we have what people say really clear and we have what people do really clear. If we create a vector on that like say do gap and we show where that vector is the largest, does that effectively give us the answer to like what marketing assets to generate?
Marketing asset as in what, like
As in
marketing
as
asset?
in marketing works best when the say do gap is largest. Marketing works best on the vector of the difference between the say and the do.
I think, but that's kind of that's not trivial, right? Like if the distance
It's
is
not
too
trivial.
large, then it means that whatever the you should be doing conjoint, right? It's like uh, just a progression. I mean, what could be interesting to show is that you did a normal concept test or max tape and you get like some ranking of the features versus when you do with conjoint, and let's say you get a completely different ordering, and then maybe from the real world we know which ranking is more closer to reality. Hopefully that turns out to be the conjoint one, and that helps us like put forward our point that uh, we everyone should be doing experiment this way and not simply asking for opinion.
Got it. Okay. It sounds like we'll get there.
Great, thank you, Tadpik. Pragna, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Happy Monday, team. So I've been trying to debug this issue that Nihar spoke about since Friday. there was a lot of merge conflicts. I had to deal with that because of state management push and concept testing pushes. Anyway, so I was dealing with that now. I've been trying to debug this all morning and like a little bit of last night. Uh, yeah, I'm looking into it with Nihar. Hopefully, should get this sorted by the afternoon so we can push it to prod. Yeah, so that's on my to-do list today. And then after that, there's some other ticket that's been assigned to me, so I'll work on that with Deepika and Subodh. See that we've been assigned on that task. So yeah, that's what my plan is for the week.
Thank you, Pragmat. Prithvi, do you want to go next?
Yes. We have the CSS loader as per to our need, and it's been designed. Currently, I'm trying to isolate it to one particular tab rather than it's automatically triggering to the whole application wherever it finds the computation. So isolating the CSS loader to the attribute tab. Yeah, that's the thing I'm working on.
Great, thank you, Prithvi. Amrit, do you want to go next?
Happy Monday team. So I had a creative weekend and I mailed Subodh regarding my projects and I'm awaiting for the tickets from Jana so I can continue to work and this is it from my side.
Yeah, we gotta work on the tickets for Amrit for sure. Well, thank you.
Subodh,
Michelle,
can
do
we
you
can we sit together to come up with some tickets for him?
Let me ask Amrit a quick question. Amrit, you'll be more comfortable in front end, is it, or back end? Like, do
Uh,
you have a
it's
yeah?
backend, and if it has anything to do with machine learning or neural networks models, then I'm more happy to work with it. But yeah, anything is fine.
Okay,
But I'm more on backend.
okay, good to know.
Great, Michelle.
All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. It's still kind of early here on the central time. But anyway, I hope everybody had a good weekend. It's good to see everybody. A few updates. The AMA speaking engagement that I have later in November. It's on the 18th or 19th. But anyway, they posted that about me and sent out the email about me being the speaker at their event about using AI in marketing. And so I'm going to start sharing that probably today and tomorrow. So if you guys can keep an eye on that and everybody like it and comment on it, that will help it get more engagement. And of course, Subconscious is going to be featured in that presentation. So that's exciting. Um, Subodh, I made a contact with a data provider, and I just need to get more details about what kind of data you exactly want. So maybe you could send me like, an email
Sure.
or something and just let me know what specifically you need, and then we'll see if he can provide what you need.
Okay.
Let's see. I also spent some time thinking about the go-to-market strategy and messaging. So I've got some strong thoughts and ideas about how to increase the success with that. So Samir, I think it would be great for you and I to connect about that and talk about, mutual efforts and I can share with you what I'm thinking. It'd be helpful. Um, and also just discuss how I can support you with that, with what you're working on as well. This week, I am finalizing a research and strategy recommendations for the credit union. It's a really, really big week for me. Like it's like the culmination of like a lot of research. I'm going to be testing several of the real life survey results, like human surveys that I did on credit union members against like what subconscious, experiments will pull up to see like how they compare. So that should be really interesting. I'm also launching a new project, data analysis, that's going to include a few subconscious experiments as well. So exciting stuff going on. And then as far as blockers go, I did try to run some experiments over the weekend, and I ran into several issues. I've created GitHub tickets for those. I think Avi was suggesting that that would be a good place to make sure that what I'm finding is tracked. So I don't know if you guys are looking at those. I don't see that anybody's assigned to them yet, but you know, if I just wanted to alert you that they're there. So like one
Uh,
thing was, I'm sorry. Mhm.
Tatavik did reply to those, right? I saw replies from Tatavik.
Oh, did she in GitHub? I saw she was helping me with one of them, but I had multiple ones, so I just maybe haven't seen them all. Um, but yeah,
I only
so I can
did
get with you.
one reply, sorry, on the Discord.
Yeah, I saw you reply to one of them on Discord. Do you guys want me to let you know in the bug channel as well, or just put them in GitHub? What would be best, to do both or just one thing?
In the GitHub, I think unless it's not assigned to any of us, I don't like just come to our knowledge automatically. That's the another thing with GitHub, I guess.
Okay, I'll just drop them in the bug channel then, so you guys can
Okay.
address those. Yeah, I just had like the personas weren't clickable in concept testing. So that was one thing that I noticed. And then it looks like I couldn't add variables to the questions anymore. Like, you know how you used to be able
Mm-hmm.
to add variables up to 10 or whatever?
Yeah,
That wasn't working.
that's not a bug. We had some discussion. So if it's a real world product, for now we just disabled adding attributes. We'll think of bringing it back because the problem is if somebody adds a new attribute on their own, then we don't have a real world product where that attribute and label will be available. So then in a real world scenario, we can't show it. uh, we'll have to do some messaging, like if people say, oh, we add this anyway, but then we'll say, okay, we won't be able to guarantee you. Or we'll figure out some way, but that's not a bug. That's something intentional we did
Okay.
for that.
Will we still be
Click
able to upload our own custom
attribute.
variables?
Yeah, that is still available. You can upload the CSV and that should show up. When you say that you're not able to click the persona, was that in LinkedIn or the US based population group?
I think I was running through the concept testing, like trying to do a concept
Mm,
test experiment. So when I got to the page where you could choose either, you know, I can't remember what the terminology is on it, but you could
mm,
choose the one thing on the left or the one thing on the
mm,
right, like the standard or the personas.
mm.
The personas like button wouldn't engage, wouldn't click.
Okay. Oh, we'll check with the Nihar.
Yeah. And then just one other thing to call out is on the when I was trying the chat bot, which is like, you know, super cool, super
Yeah,
exciting.
it's not doing the slideshow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which
I
I
mean,
tried over.
it's not an error, just that by default, OpenAI models will not create like a nice fancy PowerPoint for you. So the solution is there are few startups who are only meant to do this, or Gemini has this thing. It's a very new feature. It like literally came 3 or 4 days ago, where you'll put your document and it will create literally like a McKinsey style PowerPoint out of it. So I'll test, but it's not like fully available to everyone. I'll see what's the status, and then we will have to add that part in order to generate the presentation deck. That is not a bug. It's just how the current status of LLMs are. But good
Okay.
to know.
Yeah. I just you know, like for me that's great to know, but like if we have a customer who's actually like in there and we're selling it and they see that it suggests it, like I will make a slideshow
Oh,
for you, and then it doesn't deliver. So that's kind of a bad experience. That happened to me over on ChatGPT this weekend. I tried ChatGPT 5 Pro, and
mm,
it like it kept asking, oh, you want me to create you the slideshow and do this and that, whatever. And then I ask it to, and nothing. Like it created the most horrible slide deck I've ever seen with only one like, answer for, each graph or whatever in it. So yeah, really disappointing, but I'm definitely gonna have to check out Gemini and see like how that works, because that's a huge need for me, like having PowerPoints like right now, this week especially, like I need a good slide deck creator, so I'm gonna try it. So thank you for sharing that, Subodh.
Okay, just a moment. Tatavik, uh, how long do you think this, like you and Prithvi, the stuff you're working will take? Because I do remember, I think the next thing we need to give to Prithvi is to make those screenshots available internally, right? So basically, the sooner we do, the sooner we can move the whole chat thing in like internal part of backend, and then we can add on all this functionality. Otherwise, it's kind of limited at the moment because it has so many moving pieces, which is not part of the backend.
Uh,
I
just
leave
a
it up to you.
second. Uh, let's do the following. Let
Uh,
him work on this today as well, and I will take over starting tomorrow, and he will do the screenshot stuff.
or thanks.
Hey, one other quick question is just kind of an update on the status of concept testing. It is something that I would like to use for a client, and I just wanted to find out if if it's working at this point, or when I might expect it to be.
Think it is working, right, Neha?
It is working
Uh,
on dev. We have not pushed to prod.
okay.
Once the the part I'm working with Pragna is completed, we'll do the dev to prod for holodeck, Rehobomb, and White Knot.
But even in dev, we were having some strange errors, like with large images, or we were getting some bugs.
Didn't
I
Hardy add those kind of like warnings, like hey, if file is large, we'll
I
get this
don't know.
warning or something?
I don't know. I don't know
That's
anything.
not Hardy. That should have been Deepika. Uh,
I don't know, Deepika
the
just
whole,
haven't updated more of the logic fixes. Like when we see the concept results, we still see the task responder as 0 and the variant explained is still 0. I thought she fixed it, but she hasn't fixed it yet.
then what has he been doing like last whole week then?
She's
Because I fixed the whole back.
she's she's gonna be back on Wednesday. We can talk to her on Wednesday.
I
I
have
mean,
no
if
clue.
people take like a week to remove two variables from a UI, then
We
We'll,
still
God
have
knows.
the
we can
completion
have a
rate.
chat with her.
We
Yeah,
still have the completion rate. We still have the net sentiment there.
and then I've been saying that for 2 weeks to her, like remove these things, and I really don't know what she is doing.
Well, for me, on the concept testing side, the image only, the text only, and the A/B testing has worked. But when we tried it on Avi, it surprisingly just went in a loop and never successfully completed a revert back link.
Hmm.
I just saw the logs in the WanDB and I had to
Hmm.
literally stop the experiment because it was not letting me run different experiments. So maybe I need to take a look more into it, is like why the logs are not getting successfully finished at the WanDB side.
I mean, it could be the last week Claude was like really, really shitty. So
Mhm.
at the moment, it's like until the tasks finish, they will just keep on trying.
Mhm.
And I don't know if for a concept testing we still have like that 25-minute task limit, right, on one day. If it goes over that, an experiment cancels on its own. Uh, so
Like Ali
that's
tried
why I
to
said,
run, it didn't run for him. So I stopped the experiment that was in a loop. And then I ran the
hmm,
same experiment with the same image and it ran
hmm.
successfully for me. I got the results.
Then it's
It's just
Avi's
the same
laptop
timeline. It's
issue, I
just
guess.
10 minutes different here and there. It's a 10 minutes different.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm quite surprised that every other experiments that we run successfully, surprisingly, it doesn't run on Avi's machine. I need to check Avi's machine for it first.
Well, wait, that's backwards because I'm running on dev. You're running on local. It's not. It's not
No,
my
I'm running on
machine
dev.
that's broken. Oh, you're
No,
writing
no,
it down.
no.
Okay,
I'm running
okay.
on dev. I'm running on
Okay,
dev.
then never mind. Then it is me.
Wait, wait, wait. Oh, Bobby also ran on dev. Okay, then it's fine.
I mean, like, let me share the screen and I'll showcase you. It is on dev,
we
right?
need like a legitimate QA process. There's a guy at Antler who does like a QA. He has got like a QA startup. I'm gonna see if he can work with us.
I mean, like, this is dev, right? And this is the experiment that like
Hmm,
we ran, and this was the Avi's image that he shared it
hmm,
to me, and we got,
hmm,
I got the result. It's the
hmm.
same thing that Avi didn't get the result. It was stuck in a loop.
Okay, we'll take a look at the log of that, the one which got stuck. Let's see after this.
Mhm. And also one more thing, for every
Hmm,
experiments, the household
hmm.
income range is same. It feels like somewhere in the
No, no,
back
no.
end or
No, no,
front
no.
end.
There is no problem because we take the whole thing and we do the quartile. So we break everything into 4 boxes.
Okay.
Wait, isn't we don't use the census
Hmm.
data? We don't use the population
It
data?
is the, no, so it is a sensor. So here's the thing. Uh, if we try to match the distribution of the population on the sample, given our experiment size on an average, we will end up with close to 700 to 800 individuals to do survey with. That means experiment time is going to go up more than 20 minutes. So now what I have done for the concept testing and even for the normal discrete choice, like only when that number is like within the ballpark of 400 to 500, do the matching. Otherwise, just randomly draw. And again, these are the things we'll have to basically put them explicitly into the UI so then people will know what it will mean doing all these things.
This is the Bergame problem. Wait, so I still didn't follow.
Hmm. So let's say in this question, right? Like if you take the household income, right? So
Mm-hmm.
somebody would have entered a 0 to, and again, this is not even sorted. I really don't know what Deepika is doing. Like the income range should be
But
sorted.
the
So
image is something related to the event, right? So if it's related to if this event place is good or not, how are we able to find that, okay, this will have an household income range?
no, no. So that's
Sorry
the
if it's a dumb question.
population definition that somebody would have assigned.
Okay.
So this must have been the run for US, where you define the persona using age, gender, education, and
Yep,
everything.
yep, yep.
And now
Okay.
now I have another problem. I don't even know if she is taking into account that these things will only be available when it's US or otherwise she has some default. Unless she comes back, I have no idea then what really she is doing. Because if it's external persona based, none of these things will exist,
I mean, like, there's no
right?
external persona that is running right now. So let's just see if I want to run this particular thing. I'll just run one example
Hmm.
quickly. Um, mm, I'll just keep it United States or like,
Yeah, so now if you keep both, like doesn't matter. So if you keep states, for example,
mm, but there is no external persona that is working on this one right now. There's only defined
okay,
characteristic.
okay, so then of course, then by default, you're gonna get all these 6 and you see that. So now if we say use persona, that's the LinkedIn persona one, right? Like I don't know if it's
Yep, yep.
working or not.
It's not working right now here. I don't know. Like, I thought she's
Okay.
working. I don't know what's happening, but like, this is not plugged in yet. So
Okay, so
we don't have.
this is what Michelle was then saying that she's not able to continue, like click and nothing happens. So
Yep,
even in the experiment, normal experiment, we got all three, right? Define
yep,
LinkedIn and use that group. I again,
yep, yep.
that's the whole irony of front end. Like even it's the same thing, but seems to be in a two different branch. This whole thing should be like literally copy pasted there, but we don't see that connection.
To
So
be honest, I've not
yeah,
looked into her code. If you want, I can take a look after I've sorted out the thing with Pragna.
Yeah, see if you're able to again like basically put this whole part over there, right? So that it's the same thing.
Mhm.
So don't run it, it won't matter. But that's the part. And then we need to update. I would say maybe you don't spend time on that. It might be too time consuming to go through her code. Let her come on Wednesday. Really write down every step that she needs to do to make sure everything is working.
So one more thing, how do we define the experiment run? Because this is an idea of concept testing.
Yeah, we
You
need
say
to
like,
give some different name. I mean, what I can do is basically create a another endpoint which takes the context and an image and writes like a one liner as the title of the experiment, and we display it here.
okay,
So I'll do that.
okay,
That's the best I can do. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, because there is no why prompt, like we can't write that as the heading of the
correct,
experiment.
correct.
But fine. So okay, Michelle, we basically have now all your questions answered. This is
Mhm.
just a thing that needs to be fixed in the code so that the same set of populations can be used here as well.
Yeah.
And
I have one more question
yeah.
just to
Well,
think
and
about, and
oh,
that is like on the personas.
Hmm.
With this is a new feature, right, where you click on personas.
Hmm.
Um, is that being tested like to like see like how those results like vary from like a just a standard sort of population survey? Um,
N- Not really. So the US based population group that we have, that is again based on the same data we have, which uses the first tab, define characteristics. It's just that in the first tab, if you have to like go and define urban singles, right? Like you'll have to drag like say age 25 to 35, income this to this, and then some other variables, right? You could do the same thing over here as well. But if somebody's like just goes there like, okay, urban singles looks good, I just want to run with it. So you don't have to define and you just go through it.
we we
okay,
we we would
just kind of
like
makes it easier.
yeah, we would like Michelle your help. Maybe we have like a little design session where we design the personas and save the personas so every individual has their own like saved personas. We have a bunch of template personas that people will recognize. That's something that needs to be built out. But thank you for
Okay.
your you know thank you for your detailed attention and guidance and using us in anger with real customers. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to provide input on it. I've got made contact with one of my clients in the past and mentioned some of these new features and they want to talk about it. So, just
What's
want
their
to
name? Can you introduce us?
um yeah, you're already familiar with them, but I'm going to keep it private since we're on a recording here. But yeah,
Oh,
I'll tell
okay.
you privately what's going on. I'm supposed to talk to them and follow up to find out more about what they're thinking. So, but yeah, I just want to make sure that uh
Uh,
things are being tested so I know like what I can confidently recommend or not recommend, right?
so on that note, Michelle, give us this week for concept testing because yeah, Deepika's back only on Wednesday. There's nothing I can do before that. And then I'll make sure she fixes all the small issues and then it will be same as running a normal experiment. Everything will flow.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate that.
All right, last but not least, Avi.
I have been focused on exclusively fundraising work. So we got accepted into the what's it called, the Bordy 100. So Bordy had 6,000 applicants of people who wanted to use their system to do automated fundraising. We were one of the 100 companies chosen. Jenna and I had an interview with the founders. It feels good that we were chosen, but um, we'll see the performance of the tool. We have diligence meetings today with a couple of different investors. We did pre-investment committee with Antler last week. We're going to be doing investment committee probably this week. Jenna, I need your help. Already turning around diligence requests. They want to meet with current customers. They want to meet with current investors. So we're going to be setting up those meetings. Michelle, we may need you at some point as a happy customer, but you're going to be our final boss. We're gonna keep you as our ace in the hole until then. What else? We're starting to do broader outreach. Last week we touched everyone interested, all of our existing investors, everyone in diligence. This week we're going to be going up the funnel. We're going to be touching the target investors and the people who are interested but we have not contacted yet. That's going to be a lot of work, Jana. We're going to need we're going to need to spend a lot of time together doing that. There's 2 contracts out for the other 2 Antler companies that want to join us. One is with Mayuk. We're not going to send him an offer until Subodh gives us his blessing. There's this other guy named Vlad, so we're going to see if we can bring them both in. They both seem pretty excited about helping us with our UI capabilities. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that the other Antler companies that are doing similar synthetic data market research want to join us or not. It feels like a good thing, but one of the things I struggle with is explaining our differentiator, right? If someone can vibe code something that gets 90% of the way there, who are we to say, hey, most synthetic data is low quality and will not work and is bad, but what we're doing is high quality and good and will work. So explaining that's a big gap. And then we need to think about the other ways that we can be competitive, right? How do we make it easy to ingest the CRM data? How do we make it easy to ingest Figma data for the concept testing? How do we make it easy to generate the marketing assets once we have all of this beautiful analytics done, so that they have all of the so if the CMO is our customer, how do we give them the complete package of the work, not just a PowerPoint, but the videos, the images, the text, right? We should be able to generate that pretty seamlessly. So anyway, there's a lot to do, and yeah. But it feels good so far. Apparently, I talked to one of my friends last week. Apparently, we were the only company that he knows that made it to IC from this last cohort, which I will validate with MW, our guy, but that seems
Wow.
strange. Yeah.
Thought most people were doing IC this week.
If they pass pre-IC.
Okay.
But
Oh, wow.
I talked to Joe. I don't know if you remember Joe. He was whatever. He was one of the guys there. He said that he doesn't know a single company that, other than us, that made it to IC.
Huh.
So.
It's good news, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Go team.
Maybe.
Thanks for the team's hard work. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Thank you. Thank you to the team's hard work. It is impressive. If anybody knows any potential investors, now is the time. So we really want to, the other thing I wanted to ask the team, investors really like traction. They like up and to the right. They like hockey stick graphs. Do we think we're ready to promote our application again? Do we think we're ready to re-invite the people who churned, or the folks on the wait list, or all the people who are interested? Do we think it's at the point where we can start inviting people in?
I think by end of this week we should be. The reason I'm saying I was under the impression that concept testing will be done, and the chat agent issues will be fixed, but it's gonna need some time. So again, we do 1 or 2 weeks early, and then it's the same. People get pissed, it's the same thing. There's nothing new. So then what's the point of doing it? So might as well wait another week.
Yes, sir. Um, should it would be nice then if that's the case then for this week for us to really like get all of our marketing materials ready, get like our email blasts ready, get our product hunt post ready, our our whatever hacker news post ready, whatever we're gonna do. We should get all that ready this week if we're gonna launch next week. Jana, would you be able to quarterback that? You want to launch our product?
Yes.
Relaunch our product, relaunch our product,
Okay,
launch our new feature. I don't know what you call it.
absolutely.
We're going from alpha to beta. This is cool. This guy, Jenna, nice email. Did you see you just got a response to your email?
Oh, I did?
Yeah, that's a buying question. Jenna's like, we're closing our round. You have 10 days. The guy goes, how much is left? Like, good. I'm gonna send out 20 more of those. All right, that's all I got. Guys, I am so excited. I have so much energy that like I can't express enough how cool it is to use the application. Like it is so amazing that it's like working now and that we're getting all of these like all of these really fine signals. It really feels nice. I'm excited to rerun the human baselines and see where we are. Samir, how are you feeling? You're the tip of the spear.
Feeling good. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It seems like concept testing is something that you guys have been working on for a long time, and some of the other um, changes on the margin. So I think being able to reach back out to people, share what the new changes have been, is gonna really hopefully reignite things. So I'm excited for a ton of different reasons.
Sweet. Yeah, the big I would say the big addition is probably the latent variables that Tativik and Subodh were talking about. That's probably
Got it.
the more revolutionary step.
That would be helpful to kind of get like an overview of that to really understand that and what it is, what it offers the client, the end result. Like, I'd love to promote it to people that I'm talking to, but I don't think I have a good handle on it. Could use more information.
Okay, on that note, Tatwik, maybe we actually will have to add a tab where we actually showed like these are the latent variables and these are the statements that we used, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the moment we don't show any of those. So maybe add a tab if possible, just on the latent variable description.
Okay.
So you just do that, and maybe then we'll try to generate like a small paragraph saying how all these things help uh, better capture the behavior in this context. So we can again use like a small prompt to do that. So then people have a better understanding of why we are doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like that would be helpful. Yeah. Instead of, I would learn it by seeing that, and then anybody else who comes in and uses it would also immediately understand the importance. So it's a great idea. Yeah, and just an idea, once we get everything set up, the content testing fixed and all these things done in the next week or so, I think it's a great practice for company to have like a, sort of a demo and a little just sort of a group training session of, okay, this is what it's going to look like. This is what we were introducing. And then making sure that all the marketing materials and communication like lines up with, what has happened. So yeah, just kind of have an orchestrated effort for the launch, that also includes internal training. So Yeah, sure.
Hey, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, guys, and